This is a knockoff oversized Bumblebee figure. It's a direct copy of the Studio Series 18 and stands at 8.25 inches. Now since it's a knockoff, it has a few issues to it. Firstly, the face broke off, so I had to glue it back together. And since this is an oversized figure, it has some loose parts. The head is very loose, this arm feels a little bit loose, and the leg. However, the rest of the joints are pretty tight. The head sculpt on the figure looks really great. The face has some nice intricate mechanical designs, but I'm not a fan of the eyes. He has his nice antennas, some silver paint for where the Autobot logo should be, a nice gunmetal gray for the face. There's a bit of detail at the back of the head as well as a giant screw. The chest piece is die-cast metal, which is really nice. You have the front of the car modes for the chest piece, and the headlights look really nice. They are see-through plastic. Over to the arm, you have some really nice yellow and silver. All the sculpting and details stand out with this figure being oversized. You have some nice silver going on the inside of the arms, a tiny bit of panel working. The hands look very nice and mechanical. You can see a little bit of the detail there. The abdomen area is really intricate with a lot of stuff going on. You can see a lot of the nice intricate car parts on it, such as the belt, the pipes, and other car stuff. This abdominal area looks really great. Down over to the side of the legs, some more silver paint with some mechanical parts. A little bit of more detail on the thigh section. Now down over to the legs, not too much to say there. There are a few pieces of detail here and there on the legs, as well as some more pieces on the feet, such as over here, which might be a little bit hard to see. And then you have whatever this thing is. And here's a closer look at the inside of the feet. You can see some of the nice sculpting going on. Also, due to the size of the figure and the loose legs, it is a little bit hard for it to stand. Okay, you stay right there. Now the paintwork on this figure is done pretty well, especially for a knockoff. The paint matching for this chest piece is done really well with the rest of the yellow. However, you can see it was done a bit poorly over here. A lot of the paint got in the gaps, but on other areas such as the arms, the silver paint is done pretty well. There's little to no paint spillage going on. However, you can see a little bit of bubbles on the arms. The silver paint for the legs is also done really well. I'm really surprised there is no paint spillage. And as I said in my last video, Hasbro has had a lot of paint issues on their figures lately. And while the ab area is a molded plastic, the rest of the silver paint around the figure matches pretty well with it. A quick look at the back of the figure, not the best looking, but not the worst either. I can live with it. Just like other Bumblebee figures, the entire back section folds up over here, and then the doors become the wings. I mean, they're not really wings, but you know what I mean. The window pieces fold down, and if you unfold it, you'll see a little bit of detail that gets hidden away within the figure. And then the back of the car is behind the legs. I should mention that most of the credit goes to Hasbro because this is a copy of their figure. In terms of articulation, the head can move up and down, and you can get it to spin all the way around. And while the head is pretty loose, the 360 rotation is kind of tight.
That's what she said.
These door pieces can move, this can move back. There's a hinge joint over here along with a ball joint over there, allowing the arm to go all the way up like that. There is an elbow bend, as well as a rotation, but this piece gets in the way. You do get a rotation there as well. No hand rotation, but there is a hinge joint allowing it to move in. And the fingers can open and close. The waist can rotate, and it is pretty tight.
That's what she.
The legs can be brought out to the side, you can bring them forward, and then give it a pretty good knee bend. Back movement is limited though. And with the way the legs are designed, they can be a little bit finicky. The feet can move forward and back, and they can pivot in quite a bit, and it does reveal some more detail inside the feet. For accessories, he comes with his blaster. There is a bit of poor paint application over here. The detail on it is really great though, but then again, it is just an oversized version of the original. He also comes with a blade, and ew. That's really gross. The rest of it looks nice though. A lot of nice mechanical detail going on with some Cybertronian inscriptions. The silver paint is really nice on this as well. And it can attach to either arm. Just put it in like so. And the connection is really tight, so it's not going to be falling off. For the blaster, just take off the hand and then attach it. And there he is sporting both of his weapons. Now this can be a little bit loose. The connection for the arm is better, but it's still pretty loose. Here he is next to another oversized bootleg Bumblebee that I have previously reviewed. This figure sucks, by the way. Here he is next to another knockoff of Optimus Prime, Human Alliance Bumblebee, and Starscream from the Bumblebee movie. Now, while I don't have the original figure, here he is standing next to other mini versions of himself. Now we can do a quick little comparison with the latest Studio Series 100 Bumblebee figure. The head sculpts are different, but still similar in a way. Obviously, they both turn into different vehicles, and oops. Don't want to forget to do that. You can see the colors are both very different between the two. They both have the similar color of blue eyes. The front of the car is a chest piece for both of them. They both have the door wings. And then here's a closer look at the rest of it. Here is a quick comparison of the swords. This one obviously looks much nicer and it has more paint to it. You can see this one does have a little bit of detail, but it really just blends in with the rest of the yellow. Here's a look at both of their blasters. And once again, I think this one does look better even though it has some poor paint application. However, what I do like about this one is that instead of oops, is that instead of replacing the arm, it just goes on like that. Now to transform this figure, first let's bring our attention to the back. We want to unfold these pieces and then bring out the windows on both sides. Now we can unfold this entire back section, move the arms out to the side, so that way we can untab this and bring it up. So rotate it all the way to where it's facing up. Same with this one, it can be a little bit tight to do. Now once you've done that, let's bring in the arms and rotate them this way. Same with this side, and we're going to leave that there for now. Now let's rotate the waist around and then bring this part of the leg up. Same over here, move that out of the way, bring it up, and then kind of just bring it in like so that way these pieces can tab into there, kind of like that. Now we can go to the back part of the car, make sure they're orientated like this, so that way we can tab them into place. Tab the back pieces into place now, and if you push it down, it should bring the feet into the proper place if it isn't like that already. Bring these pieces forward, tab it into place, push that down, and just get it to line up in place. Now you will probably have to mess around with it a bit so you can get the pieces to fit into place properly. Now this side piece should tab into there, while the rest of this is all supposed to tab up here, and then this goes in there. Then do the other side and make sure all the pieces just line up into place properly, and it really just boils down to getting everything to fit into place and adjusting it in areas so you can get the proper vehicle mode. And here is the vehicle mode. It looks really nice. You can see I kind of messed up and it's still bulging out a little bit from the side there, but close enough is good enough. And you can pack nicely into the vehicle mode. I also really like how it scales well with 4-inch figures. Maybe the windows should have been tinted because you can see the legs through there, but that's kind of a nitpick. Here's a look at the front of the car. You have that line going down the middle. Once again, the clear plastic for the headlights. The wheels have a nice silver paint to them, and the figure does roll pretty well. You have that reinforced piece at the front of the bumper. You can see a little bit of detail right there. Some reddish orange paint applications. A little bit of silver paint throughout the side of the figure and a door handle. And here's a look at the back with the red taillights, the exhaust pipes, and the bumper. Overall, not a whole lot to say about the vehicle mode. It is a really nice figure, which I do like. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out my review of a giant-sized Optimus Prime figure.